Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. What's your favourite animal? And what piece of jewellery would you buy for it? Mine would be a panda ring! A panda ring! Oh, panda rings everywhere. I saw this news yesterday. What was it? I think it was We Got You Covered, or maybe even the day before. Tried to run with this rumour, and people were like, what do you think, Az? And I'm just like, it's from We Got You Covered. It's just made up nonsense. And then, because it's the interwebs, other people started to run with it, and Pink News are running with it. So I thought I'd do a video. About it. New Star Trek series may boldly go where none have gone before, into Captain Kirk's anus. By making Captain Kirk bisexual. Wow! Star Trek saved! Star Trek saved, everybody. Round of applause. Woo! Woo! Thank you. CBS, Kurtzman, thank you. Unbelievable. Wow, you're amazing. Oh, dear God. CBS could be about to make Captain T. Kirk bisexual in the upcoming series of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Which, by the way, doesn't focus on Captain Kirk. It focuses on Captain Pike and the Enterprise prior to Kirk taking over as captain. However, he is rumoured to be making a cameo. A couple of things, first of all. Number one, why? Why? How does turning Captain Kirk bisexual for your show make him a better character? Add more to Star Trek? Well, it's more diversity. Right? You work off the assumption that more diversity equals better, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. I could bring in a very diverse range of people and say make videos on YouTube, and they would probably turn out to be disastrous because they don't know what they're doing, sound-wise, content-wise, camera-wise, whatever it may be. Just throwing in diversity doesn't make something better. Do you know what makes something good? Talent! Good writing, good characterization, good development, good stories. But we're living in an age where people who have taken over these franchises can't even be asked with canon. Why can't they be bothered with canon? Why are they so desperate to destroy and shoot canon down? Because it involves work. It involves research. It involves staying true to what's come before it. And they don't want to do that. Because all they want to do is take said franchise, whatever it may be, inject their own identity politics, ruin it, and then move on to the next one. Great. We took something away from people. We spread our message. And then we're going on to the next thing. Comics. Annihilated. Star Trek at the moment. Annihilated. Star Wars. Pretty much annihilated. Doctor Who. Annihilated. What do they all have in common? A healthy dose, and I say dose in a sexually transmitted disease kind of a way, of identity politics, which have just torn everything apart. And we have this terrible retort that they like to have. Well, things have always been political. No. I had a great discussion yesterday, off camera, with a bunch of guys. And Star Trek and other shows from yesteryear were great moral stories. Sure, there would be political aspects in there, but the political aspects normally showed both sides of the equation. showed the both arguments. But we don't do that anymore. We have these people that come in and go, this is the way, Z's. This is how you should behave, yo. If you're not doing this, you're not on the right side of history. Insufferable. Okay. The iconic Starfleet captain was portrayed as a notorious womanizer in the original series, but a huge change to the Star Trek canon could see his sexuality become more nuanced than before. It's not nuance. It's not nuance. If you're born a certain way, it's not nuance. Adding bisexuality doesn't make something nuanced. That's rubbish. Also, Kirk isn't a notorious womanizer in the show. Yeah, there's a few flings here and there, but in the grand scale of all the episodes combined, it's a myth. It's something which has developed over the years because people seem to focus on the relationship aspects that Kirk had with certain ladies. And then they blow it out of all proportion. Oh, he's a womanizer. That's why you get ignorant pricks like Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Abraham. But he is a Jar Jar Binks, let's just be honest. You get Jar Jar Abrahams who was going and doing the Star Trek movie and had Kirk turning his head at every moment because he didn't do his research. He just did his basic Wikipedia read. Star Trek, Captain Picard was a massive womanizer. And he wasn't. He was actually a very reasoned captain. According to Star Trek insider Daniel Richtman, sources, which means made up stuff, have suggested the network is toying with the idea of making Captain Kirk bi in the next series, which will be a sequel to Discovery and a prequel to the original series. This is all made up nonsense. This is made up nonsense by these groups of people who are trying to spread the narrative that this is going around, when it probably isn't being discussed at all. Why would it be discussed? What would be the point? Do you want to just alienate more people? And it wouldn't be bigotry to be put off by this. It's just another way of you virtue signaling. That's it. It won't make the character any better. The character of Captain Picard, and particularly William Shatner, doesn't stay so iconic for so many years because he's a one-dimensional womanizer. Captain Kirk is a beloved character because of so many different aspects of his personality. His leadership, his relationship with his crew members, his bravery, his courage, his anger, his flaws. Captain Kirk is a very flawed character, but a great character. When you could only do something like gender change or race change or sexuality change, it shows you have no talent. It shows you have no creativity. It shows that you are bankrupt. You could only change the superficial because you have no depth. CBS officially announced the next Trek installment last month with a video of the cast explaining how excited they are to continue playing their characters. Well, I'm glad they are. I'm glad they are, because I'm not excited one bit. Around the same time, it was reported that Kirk would make an appearance, with rumours that the network had their eye on the Mandalorian's Jake Cannavale for the role. Originally played by William Shatner, with an unexplained tendency to rip his shirt off in the midst of battle. No. Maybe you should watch Star Trek before writing an article. Captain Kirk's promiscuity was a recurring and prominent theme in Star Trek the original series. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Maybe, once again, you should actually watch some Star Trek original series. The show's creator, Gene... Bloody hell. Batwoman slept with 3 women in her first season, for Christ's sake. And let's face it, all the other women were thinking about her. The show's creator, Gene Roddenberry, depicted him as the epitome of masculinity and frequently highlighted his sexual exploits with gorgeous females of every size, shape, and type. Captain Kirk was a masculine captain, yes. Nothing wrong with that. Did he have relationships? Yes. Were they the defining aspect of his character? Not even remotely. No. Again, watch some Star Trek original series. Educate yourself. While simultaneously being married to the Enterprise. It's not a character trait that has aged particularly well. What? Sorry, heterosexuality is not aged particularly well. Well, not if half of Hollywood's got to do with it. No. What do you mean it hasn't aged particularly well? That's utter ridiculousness. Having relationships with people hasn't aged well, regardless of their gender. That's nonsense. This is one of the most ridiculously pathetic statements. So the idea to make him bisexual could be intended as a way to bring Kirk firmly into the 21st century. This says that sexuality is a choice. According to everything, you're born this way. You're born with your sexual identity. So it's not bringing them into the 21st century. Because what would that say to the 20th century, the 19th and the 18th and the 17th? You're talking utter bollocks. And it's embarrassing to read. The decision is likely to divide the fan base as Kirk has never been portrayed or hinted of being anything other than a straight in the whole Star Trek canon, including the recent Jar Jar reboot. Yes, it would be stupid. It's not a defining aspect of his character to be changed. Why do you want to change it? The only reason you'd want to change it is to virtue signal, which means you're doing it for all the wrong reasons, which is exactly why you shouldn't do it. You want to create a gay character or a bi character, a new, fresh character, do it. This is the argument that we constantly have. You lot whinge, oh my God, they're so bigoted. And we say, no, you're just taking established characters with established traits and changing them simply to virtue signal. Create a new character with depth. Can you do that? I don't believe these people can do that. And by these people, I mean Kurtzman and co. I think they're terrible. I think they're garbage. I don't think they could write themselves out of a wet paper bag. He wouldn't be the first character to have a sexuality rewrite, though. Star Trek Beyond saw Sulu portrayed as a married gay man with a daughter. Yeah, he was a complete virtue signal as well. George Takei is gay. Sulu wasn't gay. Sulu was straight in the series. And George Takei, from what I can remember, wasn't actually happy with that. And then, of course, had to defend that because, you know, don't want to get cancelled in current day and whatnot. So there's no point. This is a useless, more than likely made up effort to try and push the narrative, to see if Hollywood will go with it, to see if Kurtzman will go with it. And look, Star Trek is already shite enough as it is, without more pathetic virtue signals. Discovery was a prime example of how virtue signals get you nowhere, how lack of characters get you nowhere, how when you just try and pander to an audience and don't actually have any respect for the canon, don't actually have any respect for the franchise, don't actually have any respect for the series in general, you make a pile of shit! There we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.